can do kayak rentals, golf cart rentals. We need to add another bathhouse, so we'll talk about that today. What I did was I went through all the reviews because this is a pretty well-established park now. Everyone knows about this park in the area. One of the things I saw is people were complaining how far they have to commute to get to the bathrooms. We want to be able to take the customer feedback and implement the things that they're complaining about. Correct. Right? We want to make sure that they're happy. We want to make sure that we're always getting feedback constantly, even when we're up and running, right? Hey, what can we do better? Hey, what did you like about our park? Hey, what can we add maybe? And get that feedback and constantly survey our consumers that are coming to the park. That way we're optimizing everything that we can. So this particular owner-operator, he's really technically only optimizing 3 things. The site rentals, the pool, and parking, because he has an area where people can park. And so we're going to come in, we're going to add the extra sites. We're going to potentially either take the 5,000 square foot lodge, which he calls as a lodge. That's what he's living in because he has his primary residence on the property. And we're either going to convert that and do cabins out of it, cabin rentals, like transient housing, and or we can do like, there's behind the lodge, there's like an orchard. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. I was thinking about like doing a wedding venue of some sort. And so now that lodge can become a wedding venue and an event space for Eastland. And so even though that this park is really recognized, right, for its swimming pool, everybody knows this park from its swimming pool. Like everybody, because in the summertime, this is the only place you can go to swim, right? Mm-hmm. There's not really rivers there. There's not really lakes. There's a couple little ones, but there's not in areas where people are actually going out and swimming. And this is one of them. So at any given time, Sam told me 400 people are at this park at any given time. There's so much room for value add. Just with the advertising alone, value add. Sites, value add. Potential additional cabins and tents, value add. Adding the laundry, value add. Adding kayaks, value add. If we do golf carts, value add. Really has got me in RV parks is I have a short-term rental portfolio. Still have it to this day. I'm still doing really well with it. The short-term rental community has been attacked by regulations, right? All these lobbyists that hate Airbnb. And this has been going on for years. This is nothing new. And I always tell people the days of killing it on Airbnb are gone. Unless you have a very, very unique product. I'm not saying every market is done for, but you have to go into very select markets and you have to have a very unique product. If people do rent from us, like on the transient stuff, we're in and out of those properties so we can keep an eye on them better. So if there is ever a bug problem or a leak in the toilet or a plumbing leak under the sink, it doesn't get out of hand because we're in and out of those units with our cleaning team. But me as the investor, the challenge is when you start buying all these single family homes and you're turning them into businesses, the challenge is on your exit, you can't sell based on your NOI, the income approach. You have to sell on a comparable basis. You don't have to, but good luck trying to find someone paying for your Airbnb on your NOI. The higher the NOI, the more what? The property's worth. Yeah. So I'm tired of creating all these little businesses that I can only sell
to merge onto I-30 West
on a comparable basis. I'm tired of all the regulations that I have to deal with, that I'm constantly getting attacked by. One of my biggest regrets was like, man, I wish I would have went bigger faster. Yeah. You know? Like, that's like one of my biggest regrets. But so scalability and efficiency, that's like my key thing, like, is the reasons why like I pivot into RV parks, because I'm able to take my hospitality knowledge from all these years hosting thousands and thousands of people and correlate that into RV parks.
The right lane to take exit 3 to merge onto I-30
so,
West.
One more. No, not this one. Oh shit.
Use the right lane to
Let's go. So Miguel has underwrote this deal. We've looked at it together. We've come up with a lot of the numbers, but Miguel has taken his experience from all the deals he's ever underwrote, and he underwrites what? You underwrite every single asset class, right, Miguel?
Yes.
How long you been underwriting for?
More than 3 years.
More than 3 years. So he's like,
For about 83 miles.
he's like really geeky when it comes to underwriting. You're good at it, right? He's just he's got the skill set for it.
Yep.
What would you say to somebody who's watching this and they want to get going? What would you say is the key thing that you're looking at first as an underwriter? What would you say to a newbie that they should be considering? The key thing before they waste all their time and energy into a deal.
The upside. The upside is the potential that the property has to bring more income. You do a renovation, you can increase the rent, you can put it to market rent, and that upside, of course, with some capex and budget, but that upside, the bigger the upside, the bigger the returns. If there's no upside, if they are all renovated and they are basically at market rent, you're not going to have any upside. And that's one good thing about this deal. That's what you were talking about, is all the upside that you have.
Like there's room for growth there.
Yeah, you're 100%.
So what Miguel is even saying is, we call it force appreciation. We're going to come in, we're going to spend this capex, and we're going to force appreciate this asset. Because why? The NOI gets higher.
Commercial value is based on the NOI, how it performs.
Love it.
Instead of residential, which is, of course, just based on comparables according to the market.
Exactly.
Because it's not a business. In commercial real estate, you're buying a business.
Yep. That's what I like. So we're buying real estate and a business when we buy an RV park.
Exactly.
All my properties, I look back and I'm like, shit, don't get me wrong, I've killed it, but I'm building all these businesses and I can't sell it based on NOI.
Exactly.
Susie Q next door to me sells for $400K. I gotta sell for $400K.
Exactly.
Even though my property's making $120,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. And maybe she's doing long-term rental, and then she's doing half of what you're doing, and you still have to sell it for $400,000.
Not even. They're doing like a quarter. And when you think about it from an Airbnb perspective, and like the Airbnb folks that get to watch this content, going back to what I said, Airbnb's not dead if you have the right property and you're in the right market. You can still kill it. Are you still subjective to selling on a comparable basis? Yes, absolutely. But there's also way more benefits as well. The tax depreciate. Like I know I have a lot of friends of mine that are high income earners. They like to work in short-term rental because if you work, them and their spouse, if they work 100 hours or more, they get additional tax benefits. Right, as property managers, right, of their own asset. So they do that, right? So they get additional tax write-offs. For the right person, it definitely will still work for them, and for the right property. And me personally, like, I would still buy a really good short-term rental, but it has to be creative, it has to be an emerging market, and it has to be a very, very unique product for me to be able to want to do it.